So I told you guys I enrolled in a 100% free boot camp, and I know on this channel I've spoken a lot about how I've gotten both of my tech roles without boot camp, without university, without college, wherever you are in the world, whatever you call it. I did not go the traditional route, and I did not go the boot camp route to get my first two positions in the industry. However, if you have watched my last video about why I quit my most recent web developer position, it'll be linked in the cards up there and in the description below. I did mention in that video that I have a lot to work on, and being a self-taught developer has its drawbacks when it comes to knowing exactly what to study and really putting those pieces together when it comes to really solidifying your knowledge and learning about these concepts, but also learning how these concepts actually work and how these different things piece together. So in that video, I mentioned that I went to a meetup recently and I met a girl there who is actually a web developer in her first tech role. She is working, I believe, for a startup. And so we opened up about our imposter syndrome. We opened up about our experiences working in a startup and a creative agency. And we both collectively have, these things that we just don't think we really know and we want to get better as developers. And so she mentioned to me, she said, "Hey, I'm taking this boot camp. We have to submit homework, but nobody actually really checks it because it's not actually live right now. But it's been really helping me on my journey and really helping me, to learn more about what I need to know for my job." So I asked her, I said, "What is the boot camp called? I want to know more about it." And she was like, "It's 100% free." So I'm like, "I definitely want to know more about it." And she said, "It's called 100 Devs." I instantly got excited because I've heard about this boot camp because actually some of you guys, some of my supporters here have actually commented on, I think it was I don't remember what video it was, but you guys have commented on my videos before and said, "Hey, I'm enrolled in this program and one of the tasks is to go and network," and you guys reached out to me to network. I emailed a couple of you guys back and forth, but I never really looked into the program and really went to go see what this was. But I definitely remembered hearing that from you guys, and I remember the Learn with Leon part of it. So when she said it, I was even more excited to check it out because I'm like, okay, I've definitely heard of this before. So I think the day after that, I went home and I immediately looked everything up. I got signed up. I was sold after the first video that I watched, and I just can't wait to share this resource with you guys because, like I said, as a self-taught developer, yes, I've gotten 2 tech roles. Yes, I have worked in the industry. Yes, I've built web pages, but there is a lot of things that I feel like I'm not doing the proper way because, again, it's me by myself. I'm kind of learning on my own. And when you don't have that backup, that curriculum, experienced developers kind of like helping you solidify things along the way or clarify things along the way, it can become very overwhelming, and you'll learn that you are learning the material, but you may not be learning in ways that are the best for the job. So, and that's just my experience. So without further ado, let's get into this boot camp, what it is, why I'm enrolled, how you can enroll. And like I said, it's 100% free, literally no catch. Didn't have to use a credit card. Let's get into it. So like I mentioned, the boot camp is called 100 Devs, and it is by an instructor, a software engineer named Leon Noel. He started this boot camp out of the kindness of his heart, I believe back in 2020 when people were losing their jobs. People were wanting to do career switches and they didn't really know where to start. And if back in the pandemic, a lot of people were losing their jobs. So a lot of people didn't really have money, especially money to invest in these thousands of dollar boot camps or even going back to school without, some of the possibilities of getting like financial aid if you're in the US. So he started this out of the kindness of his heart, and he did his first cohort. It was very successful, and then he did a second one. So I'm currently taking this course. It's not live at the moment, so I'm taking this course self-paced, but I'm getting all of the materials. So I'm getting all of the classes, I'm getting all of the homework, I'm getting all of the materials to follow along and to complete everything that I needed to complete. So when this bootcamp was live, it was streamed every Tuesday and Thursday for 3 hours. And I know 3 hours sounds like a lot, but 2 days out of your week for 3 hours is really not a lot. And honestly, he makes things so fun. Like the way he instructs, the way he speaks, the way, like his whole vibe, the whole vibe of the actual live stream is so amazing that it doesn't even really actually feel like 3 hours. And sometimes there's some topics right now that are being covered because it's at the very beginning that I already know. So I'll just listen to the information on like 2 times, the speed, I'll increase the speed. So this was actually, when it was live streamed, it was streamed on Twitch, but there is a way that I'm going to tell you guys about that you can access these things because they are actually on his YouTube channel now. And you can go to YouTube and you can go to his channel and watch through all the classes, but I'm going to give you an even better resource that I found that actually has like the checklist so you can keep track of what you're doing. You can keep track of the videos that you've already watched. You can keep track of the homework that's due and actually like figure out how to submit it and things like that. So I'll get into that in a second. But with that boot camp, you get the 2 live streams per week. I think it's a 30-week program. But again, because it's not live, you can go as fast or as slow as you want to and not feel like you have to keep up with every single week that pace. Or if you want to go faster and you want to get through it a little bit quicker, or there's some things that you already know, now you have the chance because the entire thing is just already there because the cohort is done. So with that being said, like I said, you get the videos, but you also get the homework. And at the end of each class, you pretty much get an assignment that was based off of a topic that was covered in the live stream. So it's really awesome because during the live stream, he also does things where you are going to be learning by doing. And you guys have already, heard me say that a lot of times. You guys have heard a lot of other YouTubers say that you want to learn by doing, you want to actually build things. So he gives you the opportunity during some of these classes to do that, but also the homework is normally based on what you learned and, just the continuation of the things that you built in class. And then there's readings that you are going to do. So I've learned about a ton of resources that I never even heard of. And you guys know I love talking about coding resources here on my channel because my whole journey has been about finding resources and using those to learn on my own. So I was super excited to learn about all these different resources that I, am taking, and they're very beneficial. And even though, like I said, some of the stuff is stuff that I already know, it's actually teaching me in a way that I've never heard before. And so I'm actually understanding. There's things that, we know, but to actually understand them and they get them to click is a whole different game. And that's what's been happening here, guys. Now, Leon Noel's main purpose in this entire bootcamp, the reason he put it together is because he wants to get people hired as software engineers as soon as possible. He wants you to get a job. The whole purpose, the whole structure of what he is doing is so that you can be employable and you can start making money as a software engineer. Now, like I said, this was started in 2020. So again, he's trying to get people to, not be stuck in these places where they're losing their jobs or not having enough money to do things. So yeah, that's his whole purpose. And you'll see that throughout the lectures. When you watch the lectures and you take the classes, you'll see that he'll mention it a lot and you will understand that that is his whole purpose. So you're going to learn about networking. You're going to learn about freelancing. He wants you to get clients in freelancing before you even get your job because he wants you to build experience and have things on your resume to go out and get your actual 9-to-5 job if that's what you want to do. Or if you want to continue freelancing, now you have the tools to do it because he's already teaching you and you're already doing it while you're doing the course. So you're going to be getting clients and freelancing if you go through this before you even finish the bootcamp, which I feel is so unique and so beneficial because me personally, you guys already know my situation. Like I said, if you've watched my last video about why I quit my job and all that, I talked about wanting to freelance and get more into that. So I'm excited to get to those parts and learn more about how that works. So he has helped hundreds of people at this point, if not thousands of people, get their jobs and their career started in tech. He's had people work for Amazon at the end of this bootcamp, Twitter, different, amazing startups. And this is all around the world. He has people from all over the world joining this bootcamp and completing it and getting amazing life-changing opportunities. And again, I don't know if I already said this, but this is not sponsored. I don't know Leon Noel. I haven't talked to him personally. This is just something that I found and I've been doing myself. And I love to share things that have helped me because I don't like to keep things that can help other people. I feel like we should be sharing information. This is how we all work together and change our lives. So another huge reason why I love this bootcamp so much, and I really, really want to push this on you guys if you're looking for something, is because of the Discord community. If you are, signed up for Discord already, you already know how Discord works. But if not, Discord is a place where a lot of YouTubers and a lot of gamers will build these communities so people can actually talk to each other and, get help on different resources depending on what the channel is based on. So for his channel, he's built this entire community of literally thousands of people at this point, where there's different channels where you can go and get help. You can ask questions about your homework. There's always somebody in the same space as you. So one thing I do enjoy, like I said, the actual cohorts, the live cohorts are done. But for people like me who have just found it while he's not, actually teaching these live, there is a channel called Catch Up Crew. And there's always like people in that channel called Catch Up Crew that are at the same point as you. They may have just started in the same month as you. They may be on the same class number as you. So sometimes there's been homework and I'll go in and I'm like, I don't understand, like, what am I doing wrong? And then I'll go into the Discord channel and search like class 6 or class 4 or whatever the homework was for. And then it'll come up, I'll see all these threads and there's somebody else in there that had the same issue or they were struggling on the same homework, and I'm able to see what they were able to do to find a solution or to get help. So there was one, I think there was a homework for class 4, but it was connected to class 5. And a lot of us thought that you had to do the homework for class 4, but you had to watch class 5 to understand what to do to even complete the homework. And I didn't know that until I went to the Discord channel and started to search for class 4. So hopefully that all made sense. But the Discord channel is absolutely amazing. There are alumni in the Discord channel that talk about their experience, give you help, give you tips. There is a celebration channel that I absolutely love. That's probably my favorite channel in the entire Discord for this bootcamp, because that is a channel where people come in and they talk about their successes. So as people get new jobs, as they get their first tech roles, they come in, they explain what they did, they explain where they work, they explain how the process went, and you just get inspired and you're able to see all of these people and, you know, having these successes on their journey. So it's really, really cool to see, and it's also uplifting and inspiring. And so if you do sign up for this bootcamp, I highly recommend kind of check that out, maybe even daily, or, you know, as much as possible, especially in those times where you feel like giving up, to know that there are so many people who started out at ground zero just like you and I, and they are still getting, you know, to where they want to be, and you will too. Another thing I really love about this bootcamp is that he takes it past just the actual classes as far as like what he has put on his YouTube channel. He actually does tutorials as well. So you're going to be learning about like Node.js, React, things like that. And he's done actual tutorials, and he does live streams where he's showing you in real time, well, on YouTube, you know, pre-recorded or previously recorded, where he's actually gone to like LinkedIn and searched for jobs. They call it, he calls it the hunt. And so on the hunt, he's going to seek out jobs and seek out connections that he can make with people who could help him get the jobs instead of just clicking apply. He always says, don't just go and click apply. Like, don't just apply for these jobs. Don't ever do that unless you've tried all of the other methods that he's going to give you. Don't just go out here and apply, which is something I've definitely done. People that I know have definitely done. But he gives you such a different perspective on everything. And it is so amazing to hear these fresh new ideas and to see that they really work. So yeah, he's posted videos there that are like 2-3 hours of him just going, looking through job posts, seeing who is the person that is probably the most likely to be in charge of hiring for that post, finding them on LinkedIn. He's showing you what he might say to these people. Like, it's a whole thing. He actually took his time to create all of this, and it is absolutely mind-blowing. And it's absolutely mind-blowing that everything is free. So not only is the bootcamp free, but anything that he ever recommends you to do, so anything you have to do for homework, anything you might have to watch, or any extra courses that supplement the bootcamp, they're all free. He is super adamant about that. He's like, anything that I ever tell you, anything that comes from him is absolutely free, and it always will be. Now, I am a front-end developer. I know I speak about front-end development a lot on this channel because that's what I know. I don't really know back-end development. And I always say, like, I'll never do back-end. I don't want to do back-end because I can't see all the pretty designs come to life with my CSS and placing things and things like that. But Leon actually mentions this in one of his classes, that don't say what you don't want to do until you've actually tried them. So don't go into it saying, I just want to be front end or I just want to be back end, until you've actually tried both of them, because he's found that some people go in thinking they want to do one side and they actually love the other side a lot better, or they like both. So he is teaching us how to be full stack developers, not just front end, not just back end. He wants us to be full stack, which actually, in my opinion, broadens your chances, and it kind of gives you more of an upper hand because you have a wider skill set. You're not just focused on front end technologies or back end. You can kind of do both and have a broader spectrum when it comes to your skills. So because he wants you to be full stack, you're going to be learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node, MongoDB, and React. I believe those are the technologies. Those are definitely the main ones you're going to learn. So he's going to teach you how to do that so that you can become full stack and you can kind of do any and everything. And honestly, I feel like knowing about both gives you a better chance at being successful when it comes to actually implementing things. You're going to be able to build better things. You're going to be able to know more about what's going on throughout the entire project's life cycle. And then you'll be able to take those skill sets and apply them to other things once you start getting into like application building. So I am super excited about this. I never thought I would be excited to learn about back end, but to have the thought of being a full stack developer instead of just focused on front end gets me excited, because it, like I said, it gives you kind of a notch up when it comes to your skill set. So like I said, when it comes to the homework, there's nobody actually sitting there grading it. I don't even know that when the cohort was live that somebody was actually grading it. I think he just wanted you to submit it because he was trying to see who I was actually doing the homework, so that you can get into these different there were different perks that you could get for submitting your homework and, you know, getting credit for that. But there's nobody, like I said, actually checking it. However, for your mental state, just to know that, yes, I submitted this, there are ways to actually submit it. I think he uses Glitch to do that. But for me, like I said, I'll show you guys what I've been using to keep track of everything. What I do is just hit the submitted button on that platform and it'll gray out the entire class. And I know that I've completed everything. So I've completed all the lecture videos for it, all the homework, and I've actually submitted it. Even though it's just sitting on my desktop, I have it. But one thing you can do is, as you do the actual projects that require you to code, and it's not just reading parts of the homework, you're actually coding for the homework, you can submit those to your GitHub channel or your GitHub page, so that you can get those little green blocks. And if you don't know what those little green blocks are, it's a way to track how much you're actually coding throughout the months and years. So, you know, when I was working over at the creative agency, it was pretty filled up because I was coding every single day and pushing most of the time. So yeah, if you want to do that, that's a tip. Submit the things that you are coding, if anything, to GitHub, so that you can start tracking those green blocks. And it's something that some employers might look at to see, oh, they code a lot. And it's something they can actually see because it's like a graph and it's public to anybody who has your GitHub page. And like I said, this is a way to build community. This is a way to network. I have gotten so many questions from you guys about how do I network? And I always mention meetups because that's the best way that I know how to network. And I've also been networking because I've been building my own personal platforms. So I highly recommend, like I said, the Discord, because you can actually talk to people. That Discord channel is extremely active. There's always, you know, hundreds of people on there at a time. So there's always pretty much somebody there to give you information or help you with a question. Another thing, like I said, is the alumni, getting into that again. Sometimes he will do a Twitter Spaces. I had never heard of this until this boot camp, but Twitter Spaces, I guess, is I don't know too much about it, guys, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I believe Twitter Spaces is a way to have live chats. So it's a voice call on Twitter. It's not like Skype or Google Meets where you're actually going to see somebody's face, but you're going to hear their voice and you'll be able to chat. So sometimes he'll have alumni that have actually completed his entire boot camp, have graduated, and have gone and gotten their amazing jobs. They come back and they host Twitter Spaces where they talk about it and they answer questions. So sign up for the newsletter. Again, all of the ways to sign up for all of this stuff, I will have it available to you. So check the description box below, guys. But there are ways to sign up for the newsletter so that you get alerted when the Twitter Spaces and the alumni nights are coming up, so that you can engage in them and hear more about how people got started and what their experience was like. So yeah, I also found a couple of YouTubers who have finished the boot camp and have made YouTube videos here about, you know, their experience and what they've gone through. So if I can find them, I will link those in the description below as well, so that you can hear their stories. But I am super excited about this boot camp. I love it so much already. And like I said, I'm only on like class 6. And like I said, there's like 30 weeks. So there's more than 30 classes. There's 30 weeks worth of material, homework, lectures. And honestly, this has been the first time that I have been learning the things that I already knew, but they're actually making sense. And I'm like, oh, this is, you know, I'm just filling in all the blanks and it feels so amazing. So I think those were the main points that I wanted to get out in this video. Again, I am still really early on in this bootcamp journey for this particular resource. So I don't have a ton of things. I can't like talk about all of the parts of it yet, but I wanted to get on here and at least introduce to you the idea so that you guys can get started and use the resource as well. Because I understand, like I said, everybody does not have it to go and spend thousands of dollars on boot camps and go to university. But even outside of that, I just really appreciate the energy and the type of instruction that you're getting outside of the actual learning. The actual just purpose and way that he structured this is just super unique to me, and I really appreciate him because he's going to help you fill in a lot of blanks as well. Like if you already know things, like I feel like this boot camp is made for people who have never written a line of code before, to people like me who have worked in the industry but still feel lost and still feel like they don't know enough, to people who are actually doing well but just maybe need a refresher, or they can come and help other people and be some of those voices that help other people when they have questions. And again, he encourages you as you're learning to go into the Discord and answer questions when you know the answer, because that's only going to help you learn too. Is you actually learn by teaching. So go ahead, get signed up. Like I said, all the information you need is going to be down below. If you have any questions or are confused about how to get started, please let me know. You guys can email me. You guys can DM me on Instagram. You guys can comment on one of the comments down here if you want to, and I will try my best to help where I can. But yeah, I can't say enough about this boot camp. It's absolutely amazing. And for it to be 100% free, it's kind of like, is this... And for it to be 100% free, you almost kind of feel like, is this too good to be true? But I've actually done the research, guys. It's really not. So I highly recommend it. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking now. And I thank you for being here. I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.